All right, Kuz, Neal Brown and the West Virginia Mountaineers. You know, I said preseason 1-11, almost like hey, look, the Titanic's already going down. It's already split in two for Neal Brown. There's no way you can unsplit the Titanic and rebuild it. And he somehow is doing that as we speak. The O-line's great. C.J. Donaldson's great. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. This offense has been a juggernaut by just war of attrition. And the defense gives you some offense. This has been the surprise team, not just the Big 12, but in America, one of the top 5 wow teams. Has Neal Brown, first and foremost, rehired himself in Morgantown?
I think so. I mean, at this point, unless it goes off the rails, I think so. I mean, it's amazing to sit back, and of course, since I've been doing this podcast, YouTube thing, I'm a lot more active on Twitter now, and to sit back and see the change in fans' responses is pretty remarkable. People that were, because you kind of learn the fans that are super negative all the time. Mm-hmm. You're starting to see some of those people now. They're not so negative anymore, and it's a pretty cool thing to see. So yeah, he's definitely, as you call it, rehired himself. And if he ends up winning 9-10 football games this year, he may even get himself an extension. Who knows?
We're talking about Neal Brown extension in October, which is mind-blowing to me. But look,
I'm saying that tongue in cheek because our fan base is probably going to kill me for saying that. But
right. A little early for the extension thing. Right. Give me the sentiment around Neal Brown, because when I saw him at Big 12 Media Day, I thought, you know what? I have a lot of respect for the guy. I think he's a good personality. It just didn't work out. Obviously, now it seems like it might work out. Was he universally hated there for a little bit, or has it just been, oh, crazy Uncle Neal can't win, we wish he could?
The second, the latter there. Everyone likes him as a person.
Right.
Likes everything he's done off the field. All that stuff. It's just he's not won games. That's it. He's checked every single box you want a coach to check, except the one that's the most important, and that's W's. So if he can start doing that, he will win over probably the entire fan base.
Yeah. I mean, worst head coach record-wise since 76 to 79, which was far before I was watching college football, Kuz, and now he seems to have revived himself. 4 wins in a row. What was it? When you look at this West Virginia team, what happened? What clicked?
They have a massive chip on their shoulder, number one, because of people like you. Thank you, by the way.
Yes, you're welcome.
I mean, you're one of dozens that did that.
Right.
Man. I mean, I don't know if anybody else picked them to only win one game, but everybody picked them to finish last.
Yeah.
So that's been their calling card this year. Is 14. We're 14. We're 14. They're wearing that like a badge of honor, and they're going out and trying to prove everybody wrong. You got a bunch of guys who are playing together. This team has great chemistry together. They're all playing for one another and not themselves. And then our defense, man, our defense has just played absolutely lights out. We're winning football games with defense. We're playing offense just good enough.
Yep.
They're making plays when they have to make plays. They're not necessarily making big plays, and they're not making plays consistently. But when they need to, they're making them. And they're playing really good defense and good special teams, which doesn't get talked about enough. And they are the best team in the Big 12 at not committing penalties. So they're basically playing Kansas State football to a degree, with the exception of maybe the offensive part. But yeah, they're just finding a way to win games, basically.
And the rest of the schedule, too. We can make a case for almost anybody in the Big 12 having an easy schedule because there are so few top 25 teams. But really the only one you circle that is a true legitimate threat is Oklahoma on the road. The rest of them seem more than winnable. And West Virginia could be favored down the stretch against Houston, as they are. Oklahoma State, they will be. UCF. I mean, I count these games out, and there's a legitimate path to not just 9-3, but also 10-2. If you're real lucky, 11-1. When you ask a West Virginia fan, where's the morale right now? Is this a program that could finish with 10 wins and go to Arlington?
It is, but we're all saying pump the brakes a minute.
Trust the climb.
That's right, man. Because number one, we don't want to drink the Kool-Aid. Because we've been bitten so many times.
Right.
And number two, we understand not only is every game winnable, every game's also losable, because it's not like we're out here beating teams 40-0.
No, you're right.
Every game is a grinded out, one score football game. So you're one possession or one mistake away from it being a different result. So we're not good enough to be going to games knowing we're going to win them.
Yep.
So because of that, every single game is nerve-wracking. Every single game is losable and winnable. And that's just the nature of this conference this year, unfortunately, or fortunately. I guess you could look at it from a positive spin too. So yeah, I mean, we have hope, and we like the trajectory we're on, but we're a little bit hesitant to say, yeah, we're going to play for a Big 12 championship, because we know that we're probably going to drop a game we shouldn't drop at some point.
Everybody does. And
Right.
Coos, before we get you out of here, if I had to ask you, when we talk in 7 weeks, how this season will finish out for West Virginia, what do you see?
As of right now, I see a 9-3 football team. I think we lose to Oklahoma, and we'll probably drop one more and finish the season 9-3.
The 9-3 West Virginia Hey, Coos, I would have been shocked by the 3-9 West Virginia Mountaineers based on my prediction, and they have been. And look, it's not always fun football to watch, but if you like good defense and the offense that you mentioned that does just enough, it's tactical. It's impressive how clean they play, and the kids just seem to love Neal Brown.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to put an asterisk by that if we stay healthy.
Yeah.
Obviously.
CJ Donaldson, the offensive line, those will be huge. Defensively, plenty of guys who've stepped up big. Coos, I've kept you over time, man. Thank you so much for joining the podcast today, bringing a different perspective, multiple perspectives to the whole expansion conversation, and to the experts on West Virginia. You're the man.
Thank you for having me, Drake.
Go follow him at Couz, Couz 206 on Twitter. Find him on YouTube as well. Always putting out awesome content about not just West Virginia, but the whole Big 12. For everybody out there listening, thanks for making Locked On Big 12 your first listen every single day. This has been, always will be, Locked On. Hey, thanks again for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.